Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dan with Senior E-Bike Nation, and today I want to discuss a little bit about all three bikes. I got them all together here, and one of my subscribers wanted me to talk more about what the throttles do on each one, as far as the twist or thumb throttles, the pedal assist levels in all of them. So I went ahead and put the batteries in all the bikes, and I'm going to go through individual bike and let you know what each thing will do on these three particular bikes anyway. And most of the stuff you see on these three bikes are going to be pretty standard on most e-bikes. So she wanted me to put this video out, so here we go. Again, this is the three bikes that I own. This is my first bike. It is called an Aerial Rider Rydell. I got it about I think August will be 2 years that I've had this bike, and I put over about 2,800 miles on this bike so far. This is the newest one I just got in. This is the Electric Bike Company Model R for rugged. It's a great bike. It's built mainly for comfort, so I'll be going over a few things on this bike as well. And this one is my Cyrusher Komoda. I call this the Beast. This is by far the most fun bike I have to ride. It's got pep, it's got get up and go. It'll do 26 to 27 mile an hour if you want it to, but it is my go-to bike for just getting out and having fun. Again, now if I want to get out and ride for comfort, this Electric Bike Company Model R, this is the one I'll choose. This bike I will use quite a bit. It is, of course, my Aerial Rider. It's got a lot of great features on it too, so let's go ahead and talk about each one of these bikes and what they'll do. We're going to start off with the Aerial Rider here, the Rydell. Get this shut up here. This bike I purchased on Facebook Marketplace. I paid $750 for this bike. It retailed new for $1,000, but the guy wanted a faster bike, so he sold this one to me at a very good price. It only had probably 20-30 miles on it when I got it, somewhere around there. So as far as the features of this bike, and let's talk about pedal assist, because that's pretty important. This is called a Egg Rider. It actually replaced this. This actually gives me more data once I hook it up to my phone and open the app. This has got also 5 pedal assist. As you can see, I'm turning this down to 1, and you can go all the way down to 0. But if you're going to be getting off that bike, or you're not on that bike, you always want to start in pedal assist 0, because if you hit this throttle over here, just moving the bike to where you need to get on it, that bike's going to take off on you. Always keep this on 0. Now, this thing will go up and down through pedal assist 1 through 5, and 5 is your fastest, obviously. Pedal assist 1 will get you about 8 or 9 mile an hour, and pedal assist 2 will get you about 12 to 13. Pedal assist 3 will get you about 15 to 17. Pedal assist 4 will get you about 20, and pedal assist 5 will get you pretty close to 25 mile an hour. Now remember, the battery's got to be fully charged on pedal assist 5 for you to get 26, 27 mile an hour. That is the max this bike will do. So we'll go back down to 0 on this bike, and it has got a shifter here. It's called a Shimano shifter, and it actually has got 6 different gears on this one down here. And I always stay in usually 6th gear. I don't see the need for all these gears, to be honest with you, because if you've got a throttle on any of these bikes, where this one's got a half twist throttle here. Of course, I had it on 0, but the bike is still moving, which is kind of hard to believe. I'm not sure why that happened, but that's what I'm talking about, getting on and off this bike. It's very important you keep this on 0. Or this actually turns it off here. So I should have done that on this bike, and you can see now it won't move at all. So as again on the shifter, you can shift down to lower gears, and it'll get you, say if you drain a battery, you want to go all the way up into here so you can ride that bike a lot easier. This bike is probably 52 to 55 pounds, so it's a little hard to push, and it's also a little harder to ride even if you have a dead battery, so keep that in mind. I did purchase a second battery for this bike, which I keep in my bike bag here. Now this one is also, I've mentioned, it's got a 750 watt hub motor, and on a full charge on this bike you'll probably get about 30 to 35 miles. Now weight has a lot to do with how far you're going to get on a bike. I'm 220 pounds, so I can get about 30 to 35 miles out of a full charge. So if I carry my extra battery back here, I can probably get about 50 to 60 miles, maybe 65 on both batteries. But as far as things about the bike, again, it's got a controller here. This is your brain of your bike right here. So when you plug in these things up here, it actually goes down to this controller, and the controller tells the battery how much power that it needs to the motor. So that's a little bit about this as far as the bike itself. It does also have hydraulic disc brakes on it. These were mechanical when I bought it, but I changed them out to they're Tektro hydraulic brakes, and that really helped my stopping ability. And of course these got disc on both of them. This one has also got a quick release on the bike tire. A lot of people don't like this because you can get your tire stolen if you're not careful. So 2 of my bikes have it, 1 do not have it. And the lights on this bike from a safety standpoint are really good. I think I have to hold this top button down, if I remember correctly, to get the lights to come on. Get the kickstand back down on this bike. I don't know why that's going forward, and I got the motor completely off of this bike. That's the stuff you got to be real careful with on these bikes. But it does have headlights and taillights, and it's a really good bike to ride. It's down on the lower end of e-bikes. A couple things I did purchase is bar end mirrors on this bike, and then I purchased these handle grips that are extensions for the handlebars, where I can have 2 different riding areas where there's comfort on my hands. And then I bought the phone holder that I purchased on the bike, and it makes it nice. And I bought a Bluetooth speaker, so I want to listen to podcasts or music. It's a Bluetooth speaker, hooks up to your phone. And I bought an extra bag here, which I carry my bike alarm in, which is here. That actually was back here, but it come off, so I put it in the bag. And if I set that remote and you go to try to move that bike that much, that alarm's going to go off. I purchased a secondary seat on this. This is called a Bikeroo, and I'll put all this stuff down in the description box. This is a very comfortable bike seat. I did not like the stock seat that come on it. I purchased this rack that I put on the back of the bike. And then I purchased these panniers, which I can carry safety equipment in. And I carry this, I got this bike bag that I can carry my battery in and a couple other tools. So I got plenty of storage on this bike. But anyway, that's a little bit about the Aerial Rider, Rydell. They don't sell this bike anymore. They have a bike now called the Aerial Rider Kepler. It's a fat tire 26-inch bike that I think replaced this one. I thought this was a very popular on the market, but they quit making it for some reason. So that is a little bit about the Aerial Rider, and let's now talk about my electric bike company, bike and some of the things you got to watch out for if you purchase this bike. This bike is a very, very comfortable ride. This entire bike is built in the USA, which you're not going to see much of that on the market. There's a few manufacturers, but they are far and few between. This bike retails at about $2,500, and that will get you, of course, everything that goes with the bike, and it'll get you this little basket that locks into your rack. That all comes with the bike. And then when you actually take this out of the box, the only thing you have to do is tighten that bolt down, unloosen these, turn the handlebars completely around the way they are right now, and tighten the bolts back down, and that bike is ready to ride. So it is a very easy bike to assemble. Now, Electric Bike Company sent this bike to me. It's called the Model R for rugged, and they wanted me to review this bike on my channel. So I thank them. They graciously sent this bike to me to review, and I just can't say enough about the bike. As far as speed, this bike is not built for speed. It'll get you 20 miles an hour, but you really want to ride this bike for comfort only. I love these nostalgic handlebars that wrap around here. That's really cool. Gives you a very comfortable grip with your hands and your arms. And then this bike has got a five pedal assist as well. The middle button here actually turns the computer on. And the only thing I don't like about this bike, it does not have a percentage showing up here. It shows volts. I'm not crazy about that. I made them aware of that, but they think that voltage is all they really want to show on this. I don't know why, but most bikes will have percentage showing on the how much battery's left. So when this is about 54 volts, that's pretty much fully charged. You can see all the green bars. When this thing gets down to about 41 volts, it's pretty much empty. So you better make sure you charge that before you get to 41 volts, or you're going to be pushing a bike. So this one's got a 48 volt, 14 amp hour, and they also have them in 12 amp hours. They also sell bigger batteries as well. This one's probably mid-road battery. You just turn this key and this battery slides forward, and then it's got a locking mechanism right there where you can lock it down as well. And but it'll get up and go, but it's only going to get you about 20 miles an hour. Now again, you go up and down on these arrows, and it'll go up and down to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5. See where it says pedal assist off? This bike will not go lurch on you, shall I say, take off, until you actually turn on that pedal assist. You just hold down this bottom button here, and now this thing is ready to ride. So that's a feature they put in this that I really like. That way the bike's not going to get away from you. It's also, again, like it's got the 14 amp hour battery, 48 volt, and I think this one, I need to check with Electric Bike Company. I thought they sent me a bike that has a 750 watt motor, but I think this one is actually only 500. This just does not have the power that my 750s do on the other two bikes. Now, one good thing about this, these come with stainless steel chains. I really like that. It's a beautiful bike. I mean, you see the silver they have around the sprocket, and of course I'll show you the lights here on this thing. It's really nice lights. You just hold up the top button, hold down the top button, and that'll turn your lights on, as you can see here. And then it's got running lights in the back, so those are really nice. And it's also got another one back here on the back of this rack. So I really like that feature on this bike. And again, to turn it off, you just need to hold down the top button again, and that'll turn your lights back off. And as far as this has got a twist throttle here. That's actually a thumb throttle. As you can see, I just barely touched that thing because I still have the motor on. So if you actually, the throttle again is on the thumb throttle. It's on the left side, and my other two bikes are on the right side. So that's a little different for me to remember when I'm out. But it, again, it'll get you to about 20 miles an hour. You'll probably get about 30 to 35 miles on a full charge on this battery, maybe a little less. I've only went 20 on it. I don't want to trust going 30 miles on this yet. I don't want to purchase another e-bike battery as well, because they want like $800 for another battery, and I think that is way too much for this bike, or any bike. But they sent me the bike for free, so I can't complain about that part. It's got suspension in the front only, but it's very comfortable bike. I don't know how they designed this here, but I'll tell you, this seat is very comfortable, and you don't really feel a whole lot of bumps. Again, it's the most comfortable bike I own to ride. Now you can adjust this any way you want it, so you can bring it this way or back this way through the adjustments here. And it has Tektro Dorado hydraulic brakes, and it says right on it, mineral oil only. So you got to keep that in mind when you're purchasing a bike, to make sure you know which it takes. And then it's got the hydraulic brakes that are actually on the rears here, and they're very responsive. And of course, these are disc rotors as well. This again has got the quick connect on the tire. Again, a lot of people don't like that. I personally do, but I don't let my bike out of my sight. And if I do, I got this aftermarket alarm that I'll put down in the description. If you just touch this bike will go off like a car alarm. It's got a internal alarm already in the bike, but I tried to set it 2 or 3 different ways, and I did not like the sensitivity of the alarm itself. So I purchased the aftermarket alarm and put on there. Now this basket's very nice. This is a insulin container that my wife gets every 3 months, and I carry all my stuff in here. It fit in that basket perfectly. So, but having this storage here in the back is really cool. And you can also purchase another basket to put on the front of this bike if you want to. It's on their website. I also purchased this a Crunu light, very bright. I got this recommendation from Jersey Style. He's one of my subscribers, but you can see how bright this is in the daytime. So that's an additional light that I bought for the bike. On the controller, it does have your tripometer up here at the top, that you can reset that by holding down the top and the bottom button, and it'll reset the top one. And then your total time, I've rode this bike 5 hours and 31 minutes, and I've got about 88 miles out of this bike. It's got the temperature up here, and that's probably pretty accurate. It's in the 60s today here in Southwest Ohio. And of course, I purchased the same kind of phone holder for this. I really like that style of phone holder. But that's a little bit about the electric bike company, Model R. Again, you got to be real careful, and this is one of my subscribers. She was afraid to get on her bike unless I really pointed some of these things out from a safety standpoint. And these things are a little bit of a learning curve, not much, but you got to get comfortable with them. You can't be afraid of riding them. They're not that difficult, but you just got to learn the rules of the road, the regulations in your area, and things like that. And if you've got riding trails, I highly recommend you use those versus the road. I don't ride on the road unless I have to. Last but not least is my Cyrusher. This is my fun bike. This is a 20-inch step-through bike. As you can see, I only have to go up about 10 to 12 inches to get over that bar to get on my bike. And of course, I'm gonna go back to the Model R here. It's the same way. It's a little higher, but it's a 26-inch bike instead of 20. So that's all you got to do to get over that bike. Now, this bike itself has a controller, of course, and it's got the computer screen, and it's got the 5-pedal assist just like the other bikes have got. If you get down to low, that's eco. You get out to off. Always keep it in off before you get on this bike or get off of it. Make sure you turn it to off, because you don't want this bike getting away from you if you accidentally hit this throttle. Same as the other two bikes. Now, this has got the trip up here that you can also reset by hitting the top and bottom, when I have not done that yet. And your total mileage, I've already ridden this bike 1,476 miles, and I got it in about July of this past year, so I'm putting on some mileage now. But you can go up to 5 as you... 1 will get you to about 8 or 9 miles an hour. Pedal assist 2 will get you about 12. Pedal assist 3 will get you 14 to 15 miles an hour. Pedal assist 4 will get you probably 20 miles an hour, 21. Pedal assist 5 on full charge battery will get you 26 to 27 miles an hour. This thing, it will move. It's a very good quality built bike. And of course your headlights are up here. You can see that. Just push that down and you got your headlights on. Well, I thought I did, and then push it in. It was on. Hits your headlights. And of course it's got your running lights back here as well. And then never use the horn. I always say on your left or on your right. I don't usually use that horn, but a lot of people, I don't think, would really recognize what that is. So it's also got dual suspension, front and back. Very comfortable. And here's your suspension for the back. Again, it's also got a 750 watt rear hub motor by Bafang. That's one of the well-known manufacturers in the world on e-bike hub motors. And again, I only ride this in the 7th gear. I mean, again, if I want to throttle up a hill, that's what this throttle's for. So you need to practice with that if you're new to e-bikes. You can ride in different gears and different pedal assists, but I normally ride between pedal assist 3 and pedal assist 4 on this bike. That seems to be the most the most comfortable cadence that I can have riding this bike. Now this has got 20-inch by 4-inch fat tires. I did have liners put in this called Tannus, T-A-N-N-U-S. I can put that down in the description box. It's like Kevlar liners to really minimize my risk of puncturing these tires. It's not so bad to actually replace a tire on the front, but if you get a flat tire on this rear tire, it's going to take you a while to get it apart, because you got to take this thing completely out of the off the chain and everything. So I do carry a can of Fix-A-Flat when I'm riding. Almost all my bikes I carry this. That way, if you get an emergency where you have a flat tire and you need to get home, you can usually use that. It'll pump that tire up enough to get you where you need to go to change the tire, or actually go to a bike shop and get that changed as well. This has got the stock seat on it. Very, very comfortable. I did not change the seat out. And then, of course, I purchased this Cyrusher bag. It goes on the rack here, and I can put my extra battery down in here and some other tools. But it is a really fun bike to ride. And this is probably the most popular color. This comes in like 3 or 4 different colors. So this is the most popular, is this orange. So that's a little bit about all 3 bikes. Let me turn these computers off on these. And I forgot to tell you, on this electric bike company, you can design this on their website for probably hundreds of different color schemes or combinations that you want, which is really neat feature. So you can get wood fenders for this as well. Now remember, this starts out at $2,500. The price point goes up once you start doing all these different color coordinations. That means that different parts of the bike got to go through paint booth several times, different times, and they can just color coordinate this thing any way you want it. I found out this seat the most comfortable. It's a stock seat, so I'm going to leave that on there. But anyway, that's a little bit about all 3 bikes. Again, you want to learn the all your laws in your local areas about e-bikes. You know, most states, 750 watt is the max that you can buy on a trail or the road. and 20 mile an hour is the max speed that that bike's supposed to go. These are class 2 and class 3 bikes. It'll normally tell you what class it is somewhere on the frame. I know my aerial rider tells me that right here, that this is a class 2 bike. And if you ever get stopped by somebody, they'll be able to look at that. And believe it or not, most of the people that regulate these things, or the police enforcements, the sheriffs or whatever, they don't know the laws of e-bikes. They just don't. I've never been stopped, but I don't ride on the road very, very little. I think it's too dangerous to ride on the road. I'm 71 years old, and I don't feel like getting run over by a car. And if you get hit by a car, it's probably not going to end well for you one way or the other. So keep that in mind. If you have to ride on the road, always have your headlights on. And I would highly recommend this headlight. If you're going to ride on the road, you probably want this one here, especially with the flashing that it's got. That way people can see you. Again, thank you, Jersey Style, for that recommendation. And you want to be very clear as far as people can notice you. You want to make sure that you stand out. Rather you wear like bike shirts that are either orange or yellow or whatever. Wear something that's very bright that people can see you. And always wear a helmet. There's so many people I see out on bikes, including e-bikes, that do not wear helmets, and that's just crazy stuff. I see a guy all the time riding his bike, not holding the handlebars. He's in his 70s at least. I don't understand that. It's not an e-bike, it's a regular bike, but I just don't get that. No helmet on, and he's just waiting for a bad day. So make sure that you wear bright reflective clothing, flashing lights wherever you can put them on your bike and yourself, including your helmet. And make sure that you can also get like those construction smocks that go over your clothes that could either bright orange or bright green. I own the bright green one, and if I'm going to ride on the road any given time, I'm going to wear that. But anyway, I just wanted to share that stuff on the video about the 3 bikes, a little bit about safety and things like that. But if you got any questions, please put them down in the comments, down in the description box or the comment section. And then of course I'll try to list as much of this stuff that I purchased for these 3 bikes down in the description box. Share and like my videos. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next ride.